Hello out there. Welcome to Victory Lane. We are continuing the reading of my book entitled Three Pennies from Hell to Heaven. And we're just going to continue reading it, okay? And just let it flow. God bless you. We pray that you're being blessed and by the reading and enjoying this book. Three Pennies is at your online bookstore. You know what that is, along with my other 5 books. I've written 6 books in total, and they're all available online. God bless you. Okay, let me turn to this page. We're on page 30. The sermon would go on and on with the goal of recruiting new members into the organization. I told my friends I believe in the black movement, but I was not about to do what my cousin did do. To become a black Muslim, you would have to write a letter of surrender, giving up your slave last name, and give your life to Allah, the true God, and become a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Sell Muhammad speaks, bean pies, and work for the movement. I beg to differ. I was not about to give up my Cadillac. My cousin Otis, on the other hand, did join the Muslims for about 2 to 3 years and was doing well. Then something happened. Malcolm X, the prolific leader, as the spokesman for the black Muslim, renounced his membership, and after his pilgrimage to Mecca, found out that all white people were not bad people. Something even stranger than that happened some years later. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away, and under the new leadership, the organization did a 180-degree turn and began to let white people join. Needless to say, this blew a lot of brothers and sisters' mind. Hating the white man one day after day, month after month, year after year, then all of a sudden they welcomed him into the fold of their organization. It blew Otis' mind and many more brothers and sisters who were black Muslims. And it probably would have messed me up too had I become a member. From those 2 episodes of life, he never seemed to have made it all the way back to himself. So I felt for him, and I loved him, because after all, he's a good dude. He has been on his own in his little apartment for a long time. Not many people come to see him, but he's a good dude. People take advantage of him and his kindness along with his weakness, but he's a good dude. And I refuse to let that happen any longer as long as I was around. As I started my journey back down to the homeless shelter, I began to think that this was not going to be an easy task of living the life on the outside looking in, trying to kick my addiction to crack while completing a book about its ramifications and starting another one, being homeless, down and out. That this was one of the most, if not the utmost awesome challenges of my life thus far, a charge of unbelievability, an undertaking short of a mission to be carried out, do or die. 7 o'clock, night has fallen, and here I am back at the homeless shelter waiting for my turn to get in. I want to make sure that I would get through the door, so I came early and stood in line for about an hour before the doors opened. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, I'm in. And not many people were there that night. I heard one of the guards say that many of the people who normally come to the shelter had gotten themselves a room and are beaming up to Scotty, Star Trek, getting high. That was a favorite phrase for many addicts, including myself, when my mind was set to get high. Walk in the house, close the windows, shut the curtains, turn off the telephone and the television, and commence getting high, a life I desperately was trying to come out of. I got my blankets and my pillow, my salad and piece of fruit. I was not hungry at the time, but eating later would be just fine with me. I read some word, the Bible, said a prayer, and fell asleep. I slept well that night, almost as if I was at home, but I had no home. I missed my children and my wife. Sadness was hitting me from all angles. Depression and oppression were starting to consume my being as tears fell from my eyes as I began to cry. Kicked out of my house with my family because of my addiction, and then kicked out of my mother's house for the same reason. and in the process of writing a book about addiction to crack, knowing that I really can't complete it in its entirety until I get clean and sober. Dog, will I ever be clean? Help me, God. I shut my eyes and finally had a little peace as I slept. 6 o'clock in the morning, the security guard said, "Gentlemen, time to rise and shine and start a new day." I walked up the streets to my newfound salvation, back to the streets of relief, back to the streets of no hunger, back to the streets of freedom for just a moment in time. Glad Memorial Church was my destination. I hung out with Otis, doing his errands for some people in his apartment building, going store to store and to the cleaners. It was his way of making a little extra money. He asked me if I wanted to hang out with him while he panhandled, and I said, no, I'm going up to Glide, get something to eat, and then I'm going to my hood, get some clothes from my mother's house because it's about time for me to go to work. You got a job, Lawrence? Yeah, Otis, I got a job. I'm on a mission from God. What kind of mission? I don't know really. I just know that He is leading me down this path. I don't think I would want to walk on your path. Don't blame you, neither do I. But as an old hymn goes, what hymn? Where He leads me, I will follow. You a bad dude, Lawrence. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to survive. And as I walked out the door, As I walked up to Glide, I began to strategize my next movement, being homeless. The fact of the matter is that I wanted to be homeless. I wanted to live the life as a homeless person. I wanted to know what it felt like to be homeless. I wanted to absorb everything that a person goes through being homeless. And I knew that the only way that I could do it was to be exactly homeless. So in essence, I volunteered to live the life of homelessness. I figured that this experience would really make me appreciate life even more than I could imagine. That living this life of being homeless would be incredible. Far-fetched, mind-boggling, incomprehensible, and crazy as it was, I took the challenge. Started running with it. And above all that, I kind of figured that God wanted me to do this. For what reason? For what reason? That I would not find out for a long time. I did not know at that time that it was for a testimony. Page 33, new chapter, Beam Me Up. Standing in Lifeline, some people call it the soup line. I began to observe the people around me. Some had the look of despair, some disgust, some hurt, some sorrowful, some with hope, and some with no hope. Some were inconceivable, and yet they all told a different story, an author within their own eyes. You just had to keep turning the pages in their mind, and the story, the tale would unfold. I began to read the stories as I spoke to different individuals, wondering how they ended up here at Glide, how they ended up being homeless. What happened along the way of life? Was it drugs? Was it a lack of education? Was it a mental breakdown? Was it a broken home? No mother, father gone? Was it because they had no one to love and no one to love them? The chronicles of their lives, only they knew, and I desperately wanted to know as they began to speak to each other standing in line. Hey dude, what's up? Last time I looked, the sky, the sun, the moon, the star, I can see heaven. Okay. No, I tell you what's up. My check didn't come. Your check? I'm looking for my food stamps. Another one said. I can't even pay for my room. Yeah, you can't pay because you smoked it up last night. That's my business. I love getting high. Yo, man, you look new on the scene. I am. Lost all my stuff too. Everybody got a hard luck story. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world where nobody cares. Especially in the lion's den. Can you hang? Time will tell. You got that right, dude. Hope you down. You know what's happening because this ain't no joke. Yeah, man, you just stepped into the twilight zone. You know, Rod Serling, you unlock your door with the key of imagination. Beyond is another dimension. A dimension where reality is not real and real is not reality. And yet it's all real. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance of things and ideas. Hey dude, you just crossed over into the twilight zone. Yeah, brother, you're in the heart of the razor. Okay, next, let's keep the line moving. I sat down and ate my breakfast, and then I caught the bus to my mother and father's house to give me some clothes. I decided that I would not tell her or my father about me deciding to live the life being homeless. They want to bring any worry to their mind because even though I wasn't wanted, I was still loved. I rang the doorbell and she answered. Who is it? It's me, Mama. I come to get some of my clothes. Okay, come on in and get your clothes, and I understand, Mama. I went downstairs to the boys' room. That's what we called it as kids growing up. Me and my two brothers, Cool Kenny, the baby boy, and Clarence, the oldest. 2 bedrooms and a room where we watched television. It was always called the boys' room. I was the middle child of 4 children with one married sister, Cynthia. She was the baby. At the time, Clarence lived in Las Vegas, and my youngest, Cool Kenny, at home with Mom and Dad. I gathered my clothes, reminiscing in the process when we were children, rising up early in the morning to go to school and to church. Those were good times when life was footloose, fancy-free, with no cares of the world, but children grow up and face the decision to do right or wrong. I did wrong, a lot of wrong, and the consequences were coming at me, and I had to face them head on, reaping what I had sown. You got your stuff? Yes, Mama. I climbed the stairs, went into the kitchen, made a sandwich, and began to eat. My father was in the living room watching TV, or at least he seemed to be, but I could feel him studying my soul. I could feel him looking at me without even being in the same room. I could read his mind as he read mine without saying a word. Then the silence broke and he began to speak. You know, we did more for you than any of our children. And what? I'm supposed to pay you back? No, Lawrence, you can never pay me back. Yeah, I know. I've been told oh so many times. Your problem is that you know too much. You think you slick. But let me tell you something, Lord. Yeah, Daddy, I know. You can't beat the system. That's right. You know how hard I worked to get where I'm at? Here we go again. I came up from Texas to California. I had $1.25 in my pocket, and I worked hard picking cotton, fruit, taking all kinds of odd jobs, all for my family. I worked for little or nothing. Yeah, Daddy, I know. Don't try to cut me off. I worked at Swift Meat Packing Company and only made $125 a week, but we sacrificed everything for our children, our family, me and your mama. That's right, Mama said. Oh, Lord, here we go, I said to myself. Your daddy worked real hard, and I stayed at home with all the children until they were all big enough to go to school by themselves, 10 years old. And then I went and worked for the post office. I made sure you had food on the table, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, it might not have been what you wanted to eat, but you were never hungry, were you? No, Mama. And look at you now. Look at what you turned out to be, Lord, a drug addict. I did not raise you to be like this. What happened? Life happened, Mama. What do you mean, life? We gave you a good life. You never had to want for nothing, and you got just about everything you wanted, didn't you? Yeah, Mama. Yeah, Daddy said. We loaned you money. You got all the cars handed down to you. 3 Cadillac, 63, 71, and the 77. I could see his mind recalling the episodes of life. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I let you have them all. No, Daddy, I bought them. You ain't bought nothing because I could have gotten a whole lot more money for those cars than what you gave me, and you know it. Yeah, you're right. Mama said, out of all the children, Lawrence, you are very disappointed. You are the one who had a special gift that the others didn't. Had? Yeah, had. You're smart. Daddy said, you're too smart for your own good. Mama said, I just don't understand, Lawrence. What happened to you? I said, Mama, Daddy, I'm not dead. Keep praying for me. I'm just going through, trying my best to come out. Well, I sure will be glad when you do before you end up dead. Hey, I appreciate the food. I gotta go. You watch yourself. It's dangerous out in them streets. I'll be all right. Talk with you later. I closed the door and left. Started walking up the street. Heard my father say, Lawrence, take care of yourself. Man, if he only knew the path that I was about to walk, he would probably more than likely welcome me back home with open arms, but I had to do what I had to do. I passed the drug dealers on the corner along the way and bought a $10 hit from the money that Daddy had just given me, caught the bus, and went back to Otis' apartment. We sat around watching TV, waiting for time to pass. Many times as an addict, when you don't have any money or dope, that's what you do. Absorb yourself in the fantasy world of the idiot box, better known as the television. Escaping from reality for the moment, waiting for the next idea to try to get high. The doorbell rang. It was Slim. He came in, looked at Otis and said, "I don't want no stuff tomorrow. You're going to pay me my money, right?" Otis said, "Yes, Slim, I'm going to pay you." I said not a word. I already knew what I was going to do, and it did not matter what Slim or Clyde said or thought, because I would be in total control of Otis' money. He looked at me as if to say, "Stay out of it." But little did he know that I would be the central figure that he had to deal with, rather me dealing with him. It was just a matter of acceptance. "Hey, Otis, I gotta go. I'll be back." He said, "Okay, Lawrence. Are you sure you're coming back?" "Absolutely. See you later." I got my backpack from the closet, headed towards the elevator to go back to the shelter. My mind was racing with all kinds of thoughts. I could not even put them together. Slim and Clyde wanting to get paid tomorrow, Otis' condition of living, my condition of being homeless, trying to finish one book while starting another one, thoughts of my children, my 2 sons and my daughter, thoughts of my wife, so many damn thoughts. What do I think of next? Beep, beep! A horn blew as I was about to continue walking against a red light. I thought that I better stop thinking or I won't be able to think at all, getting hit by a car, as I smiled and lined up with the rest of the men waiting to bed down at the shelter. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's me. I'm in. I got my blankets and my pillow, my sandwich and my piece of fruit, and laid down to rest, trying not to think, yet I had to think about tomorrow. I had to think about Otis getting paid and Slim and Clyde trying to rip him off. I had to think about how I could handle the situation without getting into a farce, because I did not want to get hurt and I did not want to hurt anybody. I said a prayer and thank God for keeping me thus far in my homeless condition. And I said a special prayer to ask him to help me to say the right words and do the right thing, and whatever has to be, it has to be. I prayed for my sons, my daughter, my wife, my mother and father, Otis, in the incomprehensible situation that I was in. Sleep did not come well as I figured it wouldn't. It's kind of hard to sleep good when you have a zillion things on your mind. Good morning, gentlemen. It's 6 o'clock. The sound of the security guard's voice was becoming very familiar as I prepared myself for the world of homelessness for the day. I knew that this would not be just an ordinary day, especially with the thought of dealing with Slim and Clyde, the parasites drinking my cousin's blood. I washed up under my arms, my face, and brushed my teeth. Wasn't quite comfortable taking a shower with the other men in the shelter. Not that I thought that I was better, nor was I ashamed of my manhood, but this wasn't my gym class, where we as young boys would exercise and play physical games for 45 minutes each day and then all take a shower together before we went to our next class. I did not know these men in that vein, and being nude with water running over me with other men was not on my fancy, unless I was in jail for the few times I had been there, or unless I had no other choice, but I did, and the choice was not to. I turned the corner on Clement Street, and there was Otis sitting out front of his apartment waiting to greet me. As we began the ascent in the elevator to Otis' apartment, I wondered what kind of day it was going to be. Him owing Slim and Clyde and all the drama that was about to happen in the name of crack. The monster was about to become unleashed to destroy the souls of its captives, stealing their will, their heart, mind, body, and spirit, myself included. But the difference was that I wanted to desperately come out of this bondage. bondage. I wanted to be free from its domain. I wanted to escape from its power. I wanted to fly again like the birds in the sky. I was tired of being downtrodden, down and on the ground, down and on the ground. Ain't no place for living, no, no, no. Down and on the ground, watching sparrows fly. I watch the birds as they make their way. They're flying sort of free, and I wish it were me. Ooh, I'm down here on the ground. Lou Ross. So Lawrence, how you doing? Doing okay, Otis? Still a little tired. So everything's gonna be all right today? Yeah, Otis. Everything's gonna be just fine. I don't want no trouble. What did I tell you before? I know trouble is your middle name. Right. What time do you go to your paid and pick up your money? They open at 11. Okay. Okay, Lawrence. Man, I'm glad you're here. You want a cold beer? I got some in the refrigerator. Not now. Got to get my mind set for the day. What do you mean? Never mind. Don't want you to worry about it. Mindset is always a challenging thing. A discipline that takes strength. A discipline that you can't bend. That you can't bend or break or bow. For if you do, then everything that you have set your mind to do is of naught. There must be some way out of here. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Jimi Hendrix. There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. I guess Jimmy must have found it. Relief. At least he's free from being caught up in this cesspool of deprivation of crack. Sometimes I feel like Jimmy must have felt, or so I thought, taking the ultimate high and just overdose into oblivion, into the next stage of eternal. But would I go to heaven or would I go to hell? Lately the latter seemed to be the choice of my life, but I don't want to go to hell. God help me. I said, Otis, I'm going to take a nap. Wake me up when it's time to go. He said, okay, cuz, go ahead and lay down. We'll leave about 10:30. Place opens at 11. As I lay there, my mind was really racing on the events that would happen on this day. I wasn't worried about them, just a bit concerned. You can't worry about things when you're in the game of life, especially in the drug world, because worry will become your worst enemy. Worry will cause you to hesitate. Worry will cause you to slip. Worry can cost you your life. I close my eyes to concentrate on keeping my mind set. Sleep was the last thing that would come to me on this morning. Close my eyes for the moment was good enough. My thoughts were of triple C, cool, calm, and collected. I fell into a light sleep, one where you are not totally asleep, yet you are, the one where you dream all kinds of stupid and weird dreams, one right after the other. I remember dreaming when we were young kids, stealing from the food factory where we lived in our neighborhood, having an Oreo cookie fight, and then Otis running from Slim and Clyde with me trying to catch him before they did. Dreams can sometimes be crazy. Hey, Lawrence, it's time to go. As we left the elevator, walking through the lobby, heading towards the door to make our exit, I noticed something that seemed to be a bit odd. Now, even though I had just recently started coming over to Otis' apartment, I was still reading the room. The lady who was sitting behind the reception area had a visitor, and he was going through some kind of book, turning from one page to the next. His name was Mr. Lee, the property manager of the book. He said, "Hello, Otis." Otis replied, "Hi, Mr. Lee. You have a visitor." "Yes, he's my cousin." "Oh, another cousin." "Yes. He has to sign in." I said, "Okay." Otis turned to me and said, "Lord, you have to sign in." While writing my name on the sign-in sheet, I got a bad feeling from Mr. Lee as he watched me with suspicion. He stood about 5'7", with graying hair, a thin yet very toned body formed with black framed glasses, a thorn in my flesh he would soon come to be. However, I could not think about Mr. Lee or any other person at the moment. I had to help Otis get his money, and more importantly, I had to make sure he kept the majority of it. The sun was shining bright on this San Francisco morning. San Francisco is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. At least that's what I have been told. Some of the scenic routes are awesome. The hills, the cable cars, Fisherman's Wharf, Coit Tower, Lombard Street, Chinatown, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Japanese Tea Garden, the Museum of Modern Art, the aquarium, and even more. San Francisco had it all. Whatever you wanted to be in San Francisco, you could be it without any feedback from anyone. It was just a free-spirited city. After all, like the birth of the hippies came the birth of homosexuality in San Francisco. Anything goes in San Francisco, where anybody can be anybody and nobody asks anybody questions of the somebody, of the anybody you wanted to be. San Francisco, where the cesspool of sin and deprivation, immoral and illicit behavior of Sodom and Gomorrah enveloped itself around its sky-capped beauties, parks, beaches, restaurants, theaters, and the many arts of the finest music in the world. San Francisco, I would not trade it for the world, because San Francisco was the world and offered anything you wanted in the world without ever leaving San Francisco. What a place. Totally unbelievable. Yeah, but I was on the other side, in the deepness of the black hole, spiraling down to hell, where the drug dealers, drug addicts, winos, alcoholics, prostitutes, male and female, transvestite, transgender, and any other trans you wanted to be and or see were right in front of me in the Tenderloin. I said, Otis, how far is this place? He said, oh, it's a little bit away from here. You telling me we've been walking for 15 minutes, just a little bit further, Lawrence, okay? Okay, Lawrence, you think everything's going to be all right? Yeah, Otis, everything's going to be just fine. Tune in next week for Victory Lane. God bless you. Woo, just in time, Melanie.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna swap you.
Okay. Think that's someone coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
But you're good. You can take your time.
Oh, that's my brother.
Right.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I think you all know each other.
Yeah.
Everything well? You doing the show?
Oh, yeah, I'm back, man. Did you get some
Tell me your
interview?
name again.
It's Ken Johnson.
Ken, yeah,
Come
Ken.
on in.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm Melanie.
I know you know this man here.
I'm Arnold Townsend, Reverend Townsend.
Reverend
My
Nice to meet you.
Melanie or Melody?
Melanie.
Melanie.
Thank you.
Hey, Reverend.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good yourself?
Like I woke up.
Amen.
And I've lived long enough to know if you wake up, it's a
blessing.
good day
It's a
for
good
us.
blessing. Yes, sir. It's good to have you see
'Cause I
y'all.
got sense enough to know it didn't have to be so.
It did not.
But he's good.
Grace and mercy.
He's good. Young boy asked me, Ken, the other day, he said, Rev, somebody told me you about to be 80. I said, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Man, what's your secret? I said, well, there ain't no secret, son. God is good.
That's it.
Secondly,
Uh-huh.
I said, all you got to do is try to eat right, get a little exercise,
Uh-huh.
be careful how you treat other people,
Yes, sir.
and make sure you do something for somebody besides yourself
Amen.
before you get out of here.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm convinced that God honors that.
Amen.
I'm convinced that He honors that
You're right.
and rewards those who,
Yeah.
as they say, diligently seek Him.
Diligence. Praise the
That
Lord.
means you don't give up
Yeah.
the first time.
That's all I'm saying.
First time you think he didn't show up, because when you think he didn't show up, that don't mean he didn't.
Yeah.
He might have.
Yeah.
You just missed it.
You just missed it.
Because he showed up bringing what you wasn't looking for, what you needed.
Uh-huh.
Bless his heart.
Amen.
Yeah, so God, good to see
God
you.
bless you.
Be safe out
God
there.
bless you.
safe,
Okay. All right. All right.
Bless you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Yeah, I've seen him on here before.
Yeah, you ought to have a show, man. You really, if you had the time, you
Well,
come on once a week
you
and
know,
interview people.
I just about got the time now. We talked about it before. I'm gonna really think about it. Give me a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And let's revisit that idea.
Yeah, see, because, once we get a studio and we start using it,
Oh, yeah.
the
Then that would
center,
make it easier. Let me turn my phone.
and
Ring
then,
on.
and then you get, see what kind of audience there.
Exactly.
But this is,
Now, what I'm working on right now, you one of the first ones to know. Me and, I'm working on my book.
oh, yeah, it's a nice background.
Yes, it is. I got a young man from, who's a journalism professor at Cal Berkeley, who is helping me with my book. Yeah.
All right, Ken. I'm hustling and bustling. I apologize.
Okay, no problem. We in, that's the main thing.
You're doing great as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. That really helps. I'm gonna move your phone really quick.
You from around here, Melanie?
I'm actually from Sacramento,
Oh, okay.
so not like from around here, but I used to live here.
I spend, that where you grew up?
Yeah.
I spend enough time up that way.
We want a talk set,
Okay.
like the,
Because Ken, if we're not careful, a guy like me and you gonna have to go all the way to Sacramento and get our hair cut pretty soon. Do you know the last black barber shop on Fillmore Street is gone?
yeah, see, that's ridiculous, man. We need to buy them buildings. That's what that's just reparations and all that.
Do you have a topic today, or just guess?
No, my guess is Reverend Arnold Thompson.
Well, let me do this.
And the Fillmore. Topic could be the Fillmore. What about that?
That'll work.
Oops. It's 2 L's, right, for Fillmore, or 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you don't read text, huh?
No, I mean, I haven't, but I gotta get into it, 'cause my
I'm
daughter
gonna
sent me a lot
I'm
of
gonna
it.
send you this.
Do you mind spelling your last name for me, just so I can?
It's T-O-N,
T-O-N?
T-O-W-N.
T-O-W-N.
Town,
Oh,
N-E-N-D. T-O-W-N-S-E-N-D.
there we go. And you said Arnold, correct?
Yes,
Reverend Arnold Townsend?
Reverend Arnold Townsend.
Look at that.
That's perfect. Let me see.
Cool.
Oh, I didn't tell you the labels.
You got it?
Just open that up. I am, now where's your text? I just sent you something, I wanna open it up. Okay. Here we go.
That one. I'm trying to get your talks off.
Yeah, that's. Just zoom in a little bit, that'll be great.
Yes.
I don't know. You gotta do all that. No wonder you don't mess with text. You gotta do all that to get in. I'm an iPhone guy. That's all I
Yeah.
really know how to
Where,
operate.
you said, where's your, the one you
I
texted?
just sent you one. Maybe it didn't come through yet.
Oh, yeah, it should've came through. It's
It's,
in the cloud?
yeah, it looks like it's in the cloud.
Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about that.
I don't either. So, here, I'm gonna give it to you like this.
You just send it to me in a regular text.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna hook you up. See this here? What is the state of black San Francisco? How do black people lose San Francisco? What is the most urgent need in the black community? Who are the allies? And then by then, our half hour should be up, but if not, we'll wing it after that. And I'll keep this open in case I need some more.
Yeah, I should have that.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. What time is it? 11:30. Okay.
All right, Ken, how does that look for you?
Okay, can you, bring us in a little tighter?
Yes.
I look a little cute on that one.
Keep coming, keep coming.
Just center you off. Like that?
Yeah, but it looks like the edge is cut.
Yeah,
Just
that's the, with the screen, that's how it's gonna be with the set. That's the only thing. So I think this is as good or as tight as we can be. That way you both have movement for your arms if you talk with your hands.
Yeah, and I will move my hands.
Okay, but can you come in just a little bit more?
Yeah. Is that good?
Okay, okay. Okay, now, when I edit, if I make a single of me, is it gonna be all blurry? I mean,
No, it'll be fine.
okay.
Yeah, what's it called? The resolution is all the same, so it should be fine if you do a single of yourself.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna get your audio really quick, Ken, if you can.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm talking to my
Oh, you
good
need
friend
my,
that I've been knowing a long time. You know, I've been knowing him before I was born.
Getting
almost,
corrected.
almost.
And Reverend, I'm gonna get your
South
audio.
Park.
If you want to
Yeah, we seldom have trouble with my voice level. If
Same
any,
here.
yeah, if
I got
anything,
bass
too
in my
loud.
voice.
try to make sure it's not too loud. 'Cause
No, you are both all good.
I've been
Everything's
accused
set.
of that.
Do you remember how to record?
Yeah, push something up here, right here.
You're gonna
Record.
press stream.
Stream, okay.
Yes. And it's all good. And then at about 12:53.
Can you, I don't get no countdown there, I gotta figure that out.
Yeah. But I,
So 53 you said?
yeah,
12.
as long as you're out, honestly, by 1, we're good.
Okay, is that good with you?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
We'll be out.
Perfect. Have a good
Okay.
show.
All right, thank you.
Bless you. I like her. She seems like good people.
Yeah. Yeah, she's, anyway, you're looking good like as usual.
Well,
We're gonna,
I feel pretty good for an old man.